Hello everybody, Wendy Four here, and we are talking about creating your customer avatar tonight. So tonight is part 4 of our branding series, and we are covering the customer avatar and who is your ideal prospect. So what is a customer avatar? This is something that a lot of people ask. They have no clue. So a customer avatar is a fictional character that represents your ideal prospect. When complete, it'll help you understand the motivating beliefs, fears, secret desires that influence your customers' buying decisions. This is also known as a buyer's persona. So why is creating a customer avatar important? You need to realize that any part of the marketing process you do touches the customer in some way. So if you think about it, it's a person who buys our products and services, so it pays to get really clear on the characteristics of that person so you can find and present them with a message that will move them into action to buy your products and services. Also, creating a customer avatar is important because your overall sales will improve when you get this clear. What happens is you don't have to work as hard to make the sale because you've already dialed down who is a buyer from you, so the sale is already on the way, if you know what I mean. So the next thing, it will also help you focus your niche and any specialty products that you might want to offer your customers. So in creating the customer avatar, you need to keep in mind that each time you bring a new product or service into your business, you're going to need to create a new avatar for that product or service. So creating your avatar is an ongoing process. I've created some worksheets for you guys, and you will see those in the back office. Also, I believe you should have gotten them in your email. And if you don't have the form, let me know. As your business changes, so will your avatar. Okay, so keep in mind when you're actually working with new products and services, or if you delete a product and service, then you will probably need to go back and work on your avatar for what you're actually still selling. So you need to keep those worksheets handy so you can go back and use them as your business grows. Okay, so here's the worksheet, guys. You should have gotten these either in the group, from the link in the group, or in your email. And if you need them, let me know. And this worksheet is going to help you break down your customers' wants and needs. And we're actually going to go over and fill out this worksheet with you as we're online tonight. So we'll give you an example and show you how to fill out each section and why each section is important to creating your avatar. If you'll notice over here, I have created a little woman icon and then a man icon. So you'll want to print out at least 2 of these when you get started if you think that your customer avatar would be selling to men and to women. If you only feel like you're selling to women, then you only need 1. All right, you need to be specific with your avatar. Think of somebody that you already know that's your perfect buyer. Wouldn't you want thousands of customers just like that person? What does that person do? How old is that person? Do they have kids? Are they married? They're single? What income level are they at? What do they do on vacation? What do they consider hobbies? All of those things are helping you to dial down that perfect customer, and then you go out and look for more people just like that. And one of the reasons why you need to be specific is because when you're advertising, you're targeting only certain kinds of buyers. And so if you sell a high-end product, you would not want to target a single mom with no money, right? So it really helps you to become aware of who that customer avatar is and all the specifics about that customer avatar, and you will save thousands of dollars in advertising money along the way once you're being able to be specific. And you'll see what we're talking about when we start going over things like Facebook ads and things like that, because they ask those kinds of questions. You want to keep in mind when you're breaking down the buyer persona avatar that you may actually have more than one category. So I actually used Cash Life Mastery as an example for you guys. So who would I sell to? The network marketing rep, the direct sales rep, the retail store owner, and the employee. Each one of these are going to have different wants and needs as a buyer, so I would create a different avatar for each. Think about this. Okay, I sell online education and marketing tools. So that is, most of what I sell. So those would be directed at network marketing reps for the education, direct sales rep for the education, retail store owners. And so why would I put the employee? Well, the employee may want to learn how to do social media marketing for the business owner, or maybe the network marketing rep has a large team and they've hired the employee. So, really try to think outside of the box about who your buyer persona is, because you may have missed that if you weren't really dialing down who are your real buyers. Okay? So, actually, to fill out the customer avatar worksheet, because most of you are network marketing reps, I am going to use that category to actually fill out the sheet. But then I would need to come back and fill out it for direct sales rep, retail owner, store owner, and the employee, because each one of them are going to have different wants and needs in their businesses. What are the customer goals? And we'll go back over this with the worksheet in just a minute. What are the customer goals? My customers' goals would be to increase sales, increase visibility, increase their credibility. They want to have a duplicatable team, and they usually want to work less hours. That's the goal of 90% of the network marketing reps that I know. Okay, what are their values? Network marketers typically want to provide a valuable product to the customer. They really do care that the customer receives a good end product, because that's their reputation. If they're selling something crappy, then the customer's going to think of them as somebody who sells crappy stuff. So they really do want to provide a valuable product to the end user. Okay, so they also want to increase their professional development to help themselves and their teams. They know how important it is to increase their education and to be able to teach their teams what they need to know to market their business online. They also want to create automation to have more time freedom. So those are the top 3 values that I think that a network marketer would have. Okay, and what are the customer's challenges? Scaling their network marketing business, using online tools, finding good education, retaining top talent, and creating duplication. And one thing, if you can think of a challenge is something that tests your abilities or maybe is demanding. And that's going to be different than a pain, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. So there's challenges and there's pain. And so a challenge is something that tests you, but you can get through it. It's demanding, but you can handle it. But then when you come to what is a customer's pain, a pain is something that really causes distress. It really troubles you. It gives you, it makes you have to give great care to it. It takes a lot of effort to resolve the issue. So those would be things like a fear of losing reps and customers. For a network marketer, that's like the top one. the fear of not making enough sales, because that's their money. They don't make sales, they don't make commission, and they don't make residual income. The other one is lack of time, because a lot of network marketers have full-time jobs. And then the other one is lack of education, because a lot of network marketers are new to the industry and they really don't know what they're doing, and they know that, and so that really becomes a pain point for them, because they're just constantly thinking, I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing this wrong, and that's why I'm not making sales. So, if you really take a look at challenge versus pain point, pain is something that really, really hits you hard. It really takes a lot of, it causes a lot of distress, a lot of trouble, and it really takes a great effort to overcome it. Okay, what causes your customer to object to the sale? Usually, for a network marketer, it's the cost of the product or the service. They'll say that the time that it'll take to consume the product or the service would be too long. In my case, it's online education, so maybe they're not willing to commit to their education on an ongoing basis. They may say it doesn't help my team duplicate, because they don't see how learning online education for social media marketing and the tools that it takes to run a business, they don't see the vision of how they can make that help their team duplicate. It does, but they may not see it. Okay, so it's also similar to something I'm already learning. They may tell me that, well, my company provides education, but what they don't realize is that it's different, and it's laid out different, and it's definitely helping them in a different way. So it's my job to help them overcome the objections to the sale. It's my job to help them see the vision of why they need to take the time to consume the product or service. It's my job to help them see why it can help their team duplicate. It's my job to help them see why it's not similar to something they're already learning. And then they can see the value in the cost of the product or the service. And once they see the value, then that's not an objection anymore. So you can see how all of those things work in. So you've got to know who your avatar is and be prepared for those objections of your typical customer avatar. One of the last sections on your sheet is what's your customer's role in the purchase process. Your ideal customer is going to be the person who makes their own buying decisions. They regularly invest in themselves to stay on top of new marketing skills for themselves and their team. And they're not worried about the price point, because they know the training will give them an edge in the marketplace. So, if I'm selling online social media marketing education, this would be my perfect customer avatar as far as what their role is in the purchase process. I wouldn't want somebody that has to go back to corporate to say, is it okay to buy this service? I wouldn't want somebody who, very rarely invests themselves for marketing skills, because they may not stick with it. And this is a month-to-month product. I may not want somebody who's worried about the price point, because if they're worried about the price point, then they're going to focus on that more than they're going to focus on the training. So, you have to know your customer avatar and know their role in the purchase process, and know what would be the ideal customer for you when they make the purchase. Okay. Also, one of the last section is knowing your customer's sources of information. Why is this important? Because, guys, when we get to the point where we're going to be running Facebook ads and things like that, we want to be able to know what your customer avatar is up to, because that's where we're going to target them. So if they read books, Say maybe they read Think and Go Rich. That's, one of the perfect people for me. Magazines, I just threw out one, Influensive, but there's many more magazines that internet marketers read. Blogs and websites, of course, Cash Life Mastery. But you could find one for your customer avatar, like if it's health products, you want to find a health blog that, your customer avatar hangs out at. Gurus, me, of course. But maybe Ray Higdon and Tony Robbins might be a better example for a network marketer. Others, where they spend time, on what social media platform the most. Do they spend time on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? Which one is your best customer avatar, and where should you be targeting them? So in other words, should we run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads? That's where it makes the difference. Okay, so in knowing this, you can actually determine the best places to advertise and possible targeting options. So that's why this part is important. Okay, so your homework is to fill out the customer avatar sheet for every customer persona that you can think of that represents your ideal client. And if you'll remember, I had network marketer, direct sales, etc. And next week we'll answer any of the questions that you have on mission statements, taglines, and your customer avatar. We're going to try to wrap this up, and that way everybody has their mission statement, their tagline, a customer avatar, or they're at least well on their way to creating it. And like I've told you guys before, this is something that's also going to change over time. So don't feel like you have to have it completely nailed down right this minute, because you can change this stuff over time as your business grows. So we just want you to have an idea of how to create this information, so as your business grows and changes, you can adjust and shift. And then next week we're also going to go over a new online tool, and it's going to be helping you with branding strategy. And so we're going to start talking about branding strategy as soon as we have everybody settled with their mission statements, taglines, and customer avatars. Okay, so with that said, let's stop sharing the slide this way, and I'm going to dual screen share. So we talked about breaking down the customer buyer persona or avatar, and we talked about that I was using a network marketing rep. So if you have a health food business, your categories are not going to be the same as mine. You need to think about, if it's a health food person, are they gym members? Are they stay-at-home moms that want to cook healthy? Things like that would be your categories. So everybody's going to be different, all right? So just keep that in mind, that this is going to be different, but this is just an example to help you guys understand how to fill this out. All right, so what are their goals? And keep in mind, this is for a network marketing rep. Okay, their goals are to increase their sales, increase their visibility, increase their credibility because they want people to take them seriously online. They want to have a duplicatable team, and they want to work less hours. Okay, so what are their values? They want to provide a valuable product, increase their professional development for themselves and teams, and create more automation to have time freedom. Okay, so that goes here. All right, they want to scale their business. They want to use online tools. They want to find good education. They want to retain top talent. And they want to create duplication. Okay, so that is the challenges. All right, their pain points. Their pain points are fear of losing customers, fear of not making enough sales, lack of time, and lack of education. So that goes here. All right, objections to the sale, cost of the product, the time it'll take, doesn't help my team duplicate, it's similar to something I'm already learning. So here's your objections. And then the role in the purchase process, that goes here. So everything that would cause you to feel like it would be a good customer avatar, you know, do they make their own buying decisions? Do they regularly, if like they're in health food, do they regularly buy health food products? Do they do the grocery shopping? You know, those kind of things would be their role in the purchase process. Okay, and then of course knowing your customers' information. What health food products would they buy? I mean, books would they read? Magazines would they read? Blog sites would they read? What kind of conferences do they go to? What kind of gurus do they follow? And you could put in a little other here, like where they spend time the most on social media. You could put that here, other notes. Okay. And then for the customer avatar, you need to make sure before you get started that you're talking about either a man or a woman. Go ahead and make a big circle so you keep in mind that you're talking about a woman, or if you're talking about a man. Go ahead and name it. Give it some silly name, but make sure it's a woman's name or a man's name. Find their age group, 30 to 45. Gender, we'll say it's female. Married, yes, she's married. She's got kids. She has 2, ages 5 and 7. Location, particularly I prefer the USA, but I do sell internationally as well. Why do I say the USA? Because it's easier for my students to attend the Eastern time zone if they're in the USA. Internationally, it gets to be a challenge, but it can be done. So, but my perfect customer avatar is located in the USA. Occupation, I would want them to either be an internet marketer, a direct salesperson, a retail business owner, or possibly an employee. So when it comes to occupation, there would be 4 of these, because remember I broke out 4 different types. Job title, that would change with the occupation. Annual income, you know, do I want a certain income level so I know that they have enough money to spend on my products and services? And this is especially important when you start targeting for Facebook ads. They do give you an income level, which I do think that that is going to end up going away. So the more we can get specific on our customer avatar in other areas is going to help us adjust, because we may not have that annual income to pick from anymore for much longer. Level of education, you know, do they need to be college educated? Do they need to be high school educated? What have you? And then any other notes that you can think of about your customer avatar. So what you're going to do, guys, is just do your best to fill out a customer avatar. And then on Tuesday, we're actually going to go over anybody who has a mission statement, a tagline, you know, if you've got a customer avatar question. So we'll just have some time to go over some of these things and try to help you guys get dialed down on the entire process. And like I said before, this is not something that has to be completed right away. We just want you guys to have enough education and enough practice that you can start filling this out, because as your business grows, this will change. You'll need to keep this customer avatar handy, the printout handy on a regular basis, because say if you sell shoes, but then you decide to add a specialty tennis shoe to your line of services, then you're going to need to fill out a customer avatar and figure out who would buy those shoes, because you're going to need to know who to target with advertising for those shoes, if that makes sense. So always keep this handy, guys. Don't lose this form. You're going to use it forever and ever in your business. And with that said, if you have any questions whatsoever, let me know and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Post your questions in the group and I check them every single day. Talk to you guys later. See you Tuesday.